We're looking at minicamp and OTA practice clips, and today we're looking at the Chargers, getting another look at Omarion Hampton. Today we're going to talk about what we want to see from him in training camp, what we're looking for, also his rookie season, while going over these clips. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're looking at practice and training camps just a few weeks away, and we'll have all the practice clips of your favorite players, those rookies, those guys you're drafting in fantasy football. You want to know who's climbing the depth chart? It's going to be right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're talking about Omarion Hampton here. This is a big-time draft pick by the Chargers. This is going to send ripples throughout the NFL, fantasy football, the Chargers, the AFC West, and we're going to take a look right now. Minute and a half of clips. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. We're here to talk ball today. Chargers made a big move in this year's draft. Omarion Hampton put the NFL Combine on fire with that size-adjusted athleticism. It was like that Rocky IV moment when everybody started cheering for Rocky over the Russian, because a lot of people started turning to Omarion Hampton over Ashton Genty after that. That's what we were seeing on Twitter when they saw him just light the track up on fire with his size, and they looked back at his production metrics, they looked at the tape, and they were saying, why not? Why not? And then the media stepped in, and they started mocking him a lot higher. Start seeing him go top 10, top 12, top 15, top 20 in some of these mock drafts. And now we see him go to the Chargers, which is a fabulous landing spot for him. You got a good bridge running back for him in Najee Harris, so he doesn't have to take the full workload while he's learning the NFL game. So that's going to sustain him for the long haul, because he's in his infancy stage. So what you're seeing this year, he's only going to get better. He's ramping up. And when you see him take off and take flight, it's over with. He's going to take that job. That could be week 1. That could be week 10. That could be next year. More than likely somewhere middle of this season. It's going to happen. Could be earlier than expected. He moves very well for his size and was very productive in college. This is a running back prospect that landed in the right situation. This is a good fit. And on top of him being a first-round pick, there's 15 other running backs that the Chargers could have went with. They could have just waited. They could have drafted somebody else that could have been a first-round caliber player at another position and just waited. Second round, third round. Still got a good running back. But they decided to stand there on the pick and say, hey, this is our guy. This is our guy. Because this is the deepest, most talented running back class of all time. So you have options. More than just, hey, we have a couple good running backs here. You had options to wait rounds and still pick up good running backs in this year's draft. And they stood there and said, hey, this is our guy. This is who we're leaning on. He has the body and also the experience at the college level that lets us know that he can take on a full workload, catch the ball in the backfield, be used in all phases. He's going to get a lot of work in this offense. He's going to get a lot of work in this offense. This is a great fit for him and the team, because they are looking for a running back to grind it out. They had a lot of instabilities last year due to injuries. Harbaugh didn't like that. This was a big-time change. The transactions is when coaches tell you, or the team tells you what's going on. They brought in Najee Harris, and they drafted a running back in the first round when there was talent on the board where they could have waited rounds. They're going to use Amarin Hampton. That also, without him stepping up to a press box or anybody from the team, lets you know that they really like Amarin Hampton. Not just the first-round pick in general, but the opportunity cost of all the other running backs at a cheaper price. They really like Amarin Hampton. That is what that says. You got a big physical running back who's good at all phases. He's going to get a lot of work. This is a good, talented running back prospect that's going to fit well with Herbert. He's going to make Herbert better. Ladd McConkey came to his own last season. He had a ramp-up too. I talk about rookie ramp-ups, and I give all rookies grace. He had a ramp-up. His ramp-up looked a lot different compared to other rookies because you saw him flash in the beginning of the season. You saw him flash production-wise, tape-wise, film-wise, and then with the numbers as well. Then all of a sudden, I think it was week 12 to the end of the season, week 11 to the end of the season. He was just killing it. Killing it. Fantasy numbers, regular numbers, efficiency numbers. Now I'm talking about Bubba Gump pretty much, talking about Ladd McConkey, but he killed it last year. That's what I'm talking about, a rookie ramp-up. Some ramp-ups look better than others. Some of them are non-existent first couple weeks, and bam, all of a sudden, top player in the league. Amarin Hampton is going to get a lot of work. He has the potential to be a top 5 running back easy. He has potential to be top 3, number 1 in the league. He has that potential in his game. The downside, I just don't really see it. I think the odds of him hitting the downside of all players is just being non-existent. I think I can't even put money on that. I think that's hard to really predict. Like, I just don't see it in the cards. I think downside, if you're not throwing injuries in there, Najee Harris playing really well. You got a committee there. Maybe some other issues crop up. Maybe he doesn't play to his upside or to his talent. Maybe something slows him down. I just don't see it. I believe he's going to be a huge player for this team, a cornerstone option for a long time. So what are we expecting to see him out of training camp? What are we expecting to see from him? I expect to hear more good news. I expect once the pads come on, this is where he's really going to shine. Like minicamp, OTAs, rookie camp, a running back like this, you see him get jiggy with it without the pads on. You see that, catch some balls here and there. But when the pads are on with a guy like this, that can move, that can bring the thump in the hole, that's where you're going to see it. The joint practices is where it's really going to catch fire. I think we're going to see some good highlights from him. I think we're going to see some breakaway runs. If they allow us to see 11-on-11s, if these beat writers are there to cook with the highlights, we're going to see some big plays. A lot of this footage, notice it's cinematic footage from the team, not from beat writers. If they allow the beat writers to cook at practice and training camp, we're going to be cooking with some good footage of Amarin Hampton. I want to be looking at what Harbaugh's saying. I don't trust him 100% when it comes to straight-up coach speak, but if you read between the lines really well, you can get a good idea. His transaction says more than his words. He's already said enough to me that he really loved Amarin Hampton with what he did with the transactions and that he really wanted to change at the running back position because he made changes at the running back position. Now he's looking for change, and look at the two running backs he picked up. Both of them good size. Both of them move well for their size. And they want some pounders. They want more than a quarter pounder. They want the whole beef. And they got it. That's exciting. You look at what they're doing at wide receiver. They brought in Trey Harris. Lambert Smith, another guy to pay attention to as a flyer. And maybe more for a flyer just to watch in training camp. Maybe for dynasty. He's free. But I expect this team to run it more. I expect this team to try and run it. I expect Ladd McConkey to get his. I think we're looking at some of the other wide receivers. You're going to watch from them from afar. Gadsden is a guy to pay attention to in training camp. What am I expecting during his rookie season? I kind of said it, but I'm expecting some sort of a ramp up, but I'm expecting him to take over this backfield somewhere down the line. I'm expecting us eating trick-or-treat candy, knowing Amarin Hampton's the future. I expect that. We're going to eat our trick-or-treat candy, knowing that Amarin Hampton's the future. And we're going to be carving our turkeys with that cemented in stone. I expect that. Unless an injury hits, I expect that. We're going to eat our trick-or-treat candy, knowing that he's the future. And it's going to be cemented in stone by the time we're carving out that turkey. That's for sure. And that's an easy one. That's not even a hot take. It just makes sense. It just sounds cool that I talked about the holidays in there. But that just makes sense. That just makes sense to me with Amarin Hampton. And nothing wrong with Najee Harris. Don't hate on Najee Harris. We got a 1-year deal. They could re-up that. He's a good running back. I look for him to get some opportunity, too, in this offense. I look for him to be a great bridge for the rookie. Allow him to have that rookie ramp up. A rookie ramp up isn't always like, hey, he's learning. It's also like he's learning, but we also don't want to throw everything at him right now. We don't want him to take the extra impact while he's learning. We want him to take the extra impact when he's in the know, when he's already in flow, when he's ready for takeoff. We don't want to take impact when we're trying to get off the ramp. That's what Najee Harris is here for. He's going to allow him to really learn the game, not take the extra work when he's learning it and developing, but he'll take it once he's developed and ready, good to go, or when attrition says so, father time from attrition to Najee or whatever. Not calling anything out on Najee, but just talking football. That's just what happens to running backs. Running backs get hurt. It could be Amarin for all we know. But that's it. Running back games to hurt business. Now, the last couple years, injuries at running back globally throughout the league has been decreasing the last couple years. It's below average the last 2 years, especially last year. Now, if that ramps up back to the moving average from like the last 5 to 10 years, then we should expect more injuries at the running back position. Now, it could change the average lowering. That's one thing you can think about due to committees, due to more running backs in the league, due to the usage, everything else. But it could also revert back to average, which will feel like, compared to the last 2 years, a lot more injuries. It could also increase past average, too. Anything could happen, but it's something to note that last couple years, just the last two, the injury bug has not been biting the running backs as hard. Not saying it's a good thing or bad thing, but something to keep an eye out when you're looking at these running backs. So that could be to Najee, Hampton, globally to anybody in the league, but just throwing that out there. Anything can happen at the running back position, and it could feel more this year than usual. But we're watching the changes here at running back committees. Committees are huge league to league. I mean, team to team. And in this league, Najee Harris could be getting a little bit more work than expected, and Amarin Hampton could be still getting his. Like, that's just how it is. And they want to run the football. Harbaugh ran the football at Michigan. That's why a lot of people have questions about J.J. McCarthy, because he rarely threw the football. I mean, not rarely, but just saying. Just saying. You know what I'm talking about. But now we're looking at Hampton here. We know why he's here. We know why he's here. And for the long term, like we're in 2027, 2028, we should expect him one of the top running backs in the league. And I just don't see how it doesn't happen without anything weird happening that's outside of his control or our control or anybody's control. Just some weird circumstances. He's a good prospect. He's a good team. Coaching staff seems in line. Everything seems good to go. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear about that down there in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.